Going on, collective? Welcome back to my channel. This is Divine Eye Mystic Tarot, back with another general reading for my beautiful and handsome collective. Hugs and kisses to all of you, sending you love and light, prayers on your spiritual journey. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Any sign can be of significance. This could be past, present, or future energy. This could be clarity, a validation for others, okay? Only take what resonates, leave the rest. This entire reading may not resonate with you, and that is absolutely, positively fine. Gotta know that, all right? Got to know that. Don't make something fit that doesn't, all right? If I say something is unbeknownst to you, make sure you counsel with your spirit team, your spirit guides, your ancestors of the brightest white light, that have ascended into heaven only on that particular part to see if it is a part of your story, timeline, all right? We deal with a lot of things on the surface, but our ancestors, a lot of times our spirit team deals with things on the majority, on a bigger scale, behind the scenes that, we don't see with the human eye, all right? Even if we know it's being seen, even if we know it's, possible and things like that, when it comes to spiritual attacks, they work for us. You know what I'm saying? They down for us. All right? Living, and some of them that have passed on. So make sure you counsel with them on whatever particular part that is that may be unbeknownst to you. All right? So we're going to pull a few cards, get a message out. But thank you guys so much for your likes, your shares. Definitely your likes and your shares and your subscribes as well. All right. So if you have not subscribed to my channel so far, hopefully you do. Or you just get in it for the vibe, your choice. All right. But don't come with no bullshit because it is blocked. I will ignore bullshit because I don't entertain bullshit. You know what I'm saying? No negative energy allowed. It won't be none of that. All right. Move around if you don't like my content. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that would like to donate, everything you need from me, I'll be in the description box below. All right. So let's get into it. All right. See the first card out. Judgment in your favor, divine feminine, divine masculine. So for some of you or somebody in particular, you may have a court case coming up, known or unbeknownst to you. All right, for those of you that do have something coming up in court, where you may be taking someone to court, or someone, may be taking you to court, take it how it resonates, judgment will be in your favor. All right. Anything else on this message, Holy Spirit, Holy Angels? Oh, Lord, child. Next card. This karmic couple has now turned on each other over you. This could have already happened. This karmic couple, they done turned on each other over you. They getting into it. 5 of Wands. They, having some arguments, some disputes. 5 of Swords. When it comes to whatever's being said, when it comes to however your name is coming up in their arguments and their conversations, whatever you being compared to, whatever, they are being reminded of when it comes to you by this past person, man or woman. All right. For some of you, it's a feminine. For others of you, it's a masculine. So take it how it resonates. But they turning on each other at this point. So if somebody got with another person on a flex, on a rebound, killing time, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, on a flex. For some of you or somebody in particular, it was a flex. It was somebody that moved on, tried to move on or whatever. Somebody they ended up with, did not know you, may have knew of you. But, they doing the most, since that person been with them or they've been involved with them, to make it out of something that it really ain't. And now they turn it on each other. Over you. Over you. You ain't even studying these people. Now these are folks that, maybe have been pressed or bothered by, your involvement with whichever person this is. or your knowledge of whoever this person may have moved on to don't have to be. But you know how it is when folks don't know of you, but they know that person has a past. All right. But for some of you or somebody in particular, this person knows of you. They, could have a tattoo of you or something like that. Like your name or something. Don't have to be. But that's significant to somebody here. Like they may have had a tattoo or got a certain tattoo because of you. Don't have to be a name. Or you or them. Something like that. But that's not for everybody. Alright? But the fact that you keep coming up is because somebody, is either, watching you and not being honest about that. Or they trying to compare themselves to you and bringing you up, to this person. But I feel like it's a past person that's, comparing you to this person. They may not be intending to do that, but it's a way of them, trying to put somebody in their place by way of, like, letting them know that something is possible or capable of being done or being a certain way or something like that. Like somebody's comparing you to somebody else in that argument that keeps being had, that they turning on each other now. It's like somebody went along with or got involved with somebody knowing, what feelings were they had in their heart, and they still got involved with somebody else instead of dealing with the loss of you or the breakup or the separation, however something is. When they move, probably have tried to move on. And it's not working out now. Anyway, next card. You deserve someone who will cherish you. Divine Feminine. You deserve someone who will cherish you. You deserve somebody that will, not be, so quick to show you off, but somebody that know how to keep you and protect you. It's not so important. Most people feel like it's important to try to shoot their shot and get the person, but don't know how to keep her. Don't know how to keep her protected. Don't know how to keep her, interested daily, every day. You know what I'm saying? Because some people feel like once I bag the person, get a little something out of them, whether it's good energy, you know what I'm saying, good vibes, good conversation, get a number. It's about keeping that person with good intentions. And you deserve somebody like that. Not somebody that's going to, get with you just to, for a flex or for a rebound, or just to show you off to say they able to, bag somebody like you and not, have any intentions on pursuing you in, the long way. All right, next card. Sad that our new cycle doesn't, your new cycle doesn't include me. They getting into it over this. You know what I'm saying? They getting into it over this. They in each other's face all the time. They shooting shots, taking shots at each other, when it comes to some of the things that this person is bringing up, because your new cycle, is not including past people. Some of you are looking for new love, but keep in mind, these are people that have they are on their spiritual journey. So if you opening yourself up to new love, be mindful of, the things that you bring in with you, that is going to allow you to demonstrate, in that connection, what you've learned and what to practice and what to look out for, when to let your guard down, and the things, the signs that you said you wanted to be made aware of, and only you know what them signs are. If you have not put them things in place when it comes to your journey, when it comes to your counterpart and things like that, you may want to counsel with your spirit team, your guides, and let them know which, your angelic angels as well, your spirit team, let them know what you want to be signs of, to look for when it comes to that person, because you're only in alignment with what you are aligned with. Like whatever your energy is, whatever your mindset is, whatever you manifesting right now or were, make it positive, make it right. This is the time to make those things, a part of your everyday thought. You know what I'm saying? And speaking on it as if it's already happening. It's already here. That person is already here. You already coming home to that person. You already, feeling, the embrace and the truth and the, the comfort of hearing that person express to you something that people from your past was struggling with. It may, for some of you, there's emotional struggle where it comes to people expressing themselves. And you may have done a lot more expressing yourself to people than they did to you. You won't have to deal with that now. You deserve somebody who would cherish you. You know what I'm saying? That's why in this new cycle, it doesn't include people that struggle with that or refuse to be that or do that. When it came to you, you deserving of that. You know what I'm saying? You are worthy to be loved, man or woman. All right? So, let's get some clarity and some truth, because I feel like, there's some people that's going to talk about you. There's some people that's already talking about you. They're arguing about you, but at the same time, you can't control what other people got going on or be bothered by it in any way. So, let them do what they do. We split the deck on the Ten of Swords and the Tower. So, this cycle doesn't end it. It definitely doesn't end it. You know what I'm saying? For something new to begin. So, whatever tower that's going on, whatever chaos is going on, it's because people are resisting change. They resisted change. You know what I'm saying? And somebody may be shocked that you even ended a cycle with them and chose not to, go on a new cycle, new journey, a new path. You know what I'm saying? Because every 6 years or 7 years, there's a new you, a new version of you. There's new things that's going to come, to pass. There's new things that's going to evolve and, move you further up, in your ascension, in your spiritual ranking, in your growth. Some of us ain't the same person we was 7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Every 6 or 7 years, you're not the same person. Some folks are because they in a time loop, you know what I'm saying, where, there's people in their energy that's resisting change, that, they refuse to make personally because of the people around them and what's going to be said and the people that's going to, piss off. You know what I'm saying? But this cycle done ended. This is somebody that could be going through, a mental breakdown because they, with this tower, could be shocked, you know what I'm saying, that you ended things and don't want to start a new cycle with them. Oh, I changed, face ass. We ain't got time, okay? You change, do it for yourself. Just like changing your clothes, changing your shoes. You know what I'm saying? Do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You the one got to, make the choices and make the decisions that shape your character. And you can't, fake shit like that. You can dress apart, but at the end of the day, if somebody told you cameras was always on you, and they are, you're not going to be able to, hide in the dark, who you really are, because it's always going to be things in the darkness that is going to trigger you. And other people that's of the darkness that is going to trigger you. And you're going to, lash out, respond like somebody that's not from their high, that's not, make decisions that ain't from your higher self. You know what I'm saying? And that's when there has to be a difference, a change that has to be made. When you decide to make it, it's up to you. But you got the Ten of Swords and you got the Tower. And this is about chaos. This is things, that is being shaken up, that's going on. And some people are in some bad towers and some not. You know what I'm saying? But this cycle ending and you not wanting to start a new cycle with somebody from your past, they said that, your new cycle doesn't include them. And your past person could be going back and forth with somebody from, they passed, they may have went back around to, or, got involved with, but at the end of the day, if they don't want to be with that person and the chaos and the arguments is over the fact that they made a bad choice, they may be stuck in a cycle or was stuck in a cycle too long that they didn't end for some of you. with this judgment on this court case, it's in your favor. Whether it's spiritual court, whether it's actual court for some of you, or somebody in particular, it's in your favor. So, just know that, all right? Clarify why this karmic couple is turned on each other. This karmic couple has turned on each other. Why is that? We got this karmic couple turned on each other. Shit. So somebody turning over a new leaf, gaining a new perspective on the situation, looking at something differently than they did before, seeing something differently on a different, level now. You got the Queen of Cups. Somebody seeing the Queen of Cups on a different level. They, as an empath, they seeing something differently now than the way they saw it before. However long that's been, okay? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, somebody sees something differently now. They turning over a new leaf. They thinking from their higher self. This person is with somebody now, or they, turning on each other now, because it's like awakening and realizing you've been living with the op. You've been sliding through and, you know what I'm saying, making late night, calls and stuff like that with the op. At a time when you was a op, when they was a op, you know what I'm saying? So, they're gaining a new perspective on the situation. They're looking at something differently now, especially from their higher self when it comes to the Queen of Cups. Clarify the Hangman. Clarify the Hangman. Karmic couple turning on each other over you. What about the collective? Told you they spying. Somebody watching. Somebody watching you plant these seeds. They watching you mind your fucking business. They watching you. Somebody watching you. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You could be this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But somebody's watching you. Why the Six of Pentacles with the Hangman? Why the Six of Pentacles with the Hangman? Why are they watching the collective? Why is this over the collective? The Six of Pentacles. Why is this over the collective with the Six of Pentacles? Three of Pentacles in reverse. With the Justice at the bottom of the deck. Libra energy. Somebody not cooperating with another person now. They may not have, worked with this person like they should have, or they, how somebody, is regretting that they, intentionally or purposely, however you want to say it, didn't cooperate with you, or somebody's not cooperating with another person. It's like somebody's not getting the act right, or the outcome that they wanted with somebody. Like if they, looking at something, because they feel like they deserve it, or they more deserving of something than you. Especially if they feel like they got more than you. Because I feel like somebody may have used, a financial status, image or something like that, to say that they are more suited and booted for this person, and seen, something with this person that, possibly had a little money, and, or they wouldn't got involved with this person, because this person probably was trying to flex and try to show off, like they had, they were a better choice, or that in some pick-me energy, but they watching, like seeing and keeping tabs, you know what I'm saying, on you minding your damn business. But it's the fact that somebody's watching. And it's about, you minding your business and doing what you're doing, planting the seeds that you, are invested in yourself, like putting the time, the work, and the attention into yourself. You're not, if somebody got with another person based on thinking that was going to be a flex, like you haven't even looked and thought twice about what that person got going on, who they with. You haven't commented on it. You haven't responded to anybody about it. You haven't made posts about it. Nothing. And I feel like somebody ain't used to somebody, other people they get involved with, not checking on them, not coming for them, not gunning, you know what I'm saying, for their attention, to see if they done moved on. You one of them people that may not give a damn, you may be glad that you six of swords, like walked away, moved on to calmer waters, and put the past behind you. No hard feelings, no, you know what I'm saying, none of that. You gonna go through your choices, your changes, that is gonna be made because you dropped this person or they ghosted you or however, that connection, that cycle ended for you and this person. It's different for everybody. All right. Um, but this is like the lack of cooperation. You know what I'm saying? On both parts, whether this person came with you when it came to them cooperating and, feeling like they could put forth the effort, or had what it took, to work with you. Even if they moved on to somebody new, it's like they not working out over there either because this person is not willing to cooperate with making a focused effort to make something work with them or make some, make something a go. You know what I'm saying? So with the justice at the bottom of the deck and the eight of pentacles, yeah, somebody done, realize what it is when it comes to taking accountability, responsibility. And they getting some clarity about, how to see things with the hangman and this justice. Like somebody's realizing now, exactly how they behavior and how they done misuse their energy for the most part, dealing with, a lot of low vibrational immature shit. You know what I'm saying? All this lack is what caused a lot of insecurity, and a lot of, times for this person, to have held back, being a better person, you know what I'm saying, for thinking from their higher self. So they not cooperating with somebody here when it comes to them, working together as a team. And they may feel as though, like, I dealt with this person, I was involved with them, and I sat up here and intentionally, or went out of my way, or did a lot of small shit that I could have just avoided and just, you know what I'm saying, seen where that shit would have went, and I could have been in a better place with that person. But no, I did this, I've been like that, you know what I'm saying, this person did this, I did that instead of this, and now I'm over here, now you got me wanting, you want me to do this and do that. I could have did this and that and over there with them. And they, you know what I'm saying, they're going back and forth and having these arguments, over you. Because this person feel as though, their opportunity been missed. You know what I'm saying? They thought, not working with you or not being sure, of where something would go and afraid of taking that leap of faith, they ended up with somebody they definitely don't want to take a leap of faith with. They definitely do not want to do it. But they know why, you know what I'm saying? The cause and effect. Like somebody knows why you made the choice you made and why they where they at right now, because somebody had to make a better decision. You know what I'm saying? But they arguing, you know what I'm saying, back and forth over you because this person, they seeing that you done gained a new perspective. They done gained a new perspective now on the whole situation as to, what that shit look like, now that they looking and watching and seeing you plant the seeds that you, gonna keep moving, in terms of. This person could be, working on themselves. They could be investing in themselves, and looking at the fact that this is what they were supposed to been doing when they came to you. And now they with somebody else, like I said, that they really genuinely don't want to be with. And if it's like somebody saying, if I'll do that work, I'll go work there if they paying me enough money. You know what I'm saying? It is a lot of work, a lot of, duty required. It's a lot of, work required, to fulfill them duties. But if they pay me enough shit, I do it. It'll be worth the money. It'll be worth my time. But I feel like somebody realized, that lack of cooperation with somebody over there. It's like somebody don't want to cooperate with another person, when it comes to you. Mm-hmm. What's this Six of Pentacles? What's the Three of Pentacles in reverse? Clarify the Six of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. What's that about? What's the Six of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles in reverse? Yep, Four of Cups, what I said. What did I say? This person I already know, like whatever they behavior, was, and however they expressed and came off, and whatever they actions and their emotions, however they were used to expressing their emotions or going about handling something, that they didn't like or wasn't, sure of, or trying to get a message across indirectly, directly, however they wanted to do that. Five of Swords, what I said, the bottom of the deck. This chaos, these arguments, and this, back and forth between them and somebody else over you. Yeah. This person still got passion for you. You got the Five of Swords with the Ace of Wands and the Three of Cups. Yeah. And they see you got new opportunities coming in. They see this person knows that, you worthy to have what it is that you was requiring them that, to step their game up about, but you have ascended. And this person may be late awakening. This could be your person. They could have, got with a false person, somebody wearing a mask, but at the end of the day, they back and forth with each other now because this person is, looking at how they refuse to cooperate with this person. And if they made it hard for you and them to come together as a team, for them to be a better person and, actually put forth a focus, a good effort, to work with you. Yeah. And they know you're going to reject them because of that. It's like, no, you don't get to come back around, after you done, did the most, for no purpose, for no reason, you did all that, to end up where you at and to come back. And some folks got to, some people have to get the lesson. They have to get the experience, just like you did. You learned your lesson with, some people along the way to be where you at right now. This person may have been late, a lot of divine masculines, they late in they, in their calling, they late, awakening. And it's a lot of things that is going against the grain for a lot of divine masculines as well as the divine feminine. Because the divine feminine is, the main target. But without her divine masculine, her true divine masculine being prepared for war and knowing how to use his gifts on both sides of the spectrum, in the physical and in the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? And using them recklessly, with a bunch of karmics and shit like that refuse to change, that is, sent towards them to bind them and have them, with all these demonic attachments and shit like that. Like they got to rid themselves and free themselves of all that bullshit and the whole circle of people that person that got involved with came with, that alignment they was in came with. They got to get out of that timeline. You know what I'm saying? So they have to, allow themselves that awareness. You know what I'm saying? Because going through that dark night of the soul is not comfortable for anybody. You know what I'm saying? To have to look back on your life, to have to, see the people around you being the main reason why your choices were the way they were, and they constantly calling you, blowing you up. The minute you awaken, it's even more, detriment to them that you don't. And when you do, as a divine masculine, imagine waking up around all these damn ops and having to go along or, fake the funk, you know what I'm saying, until you decide, what day or what hour, what time it's going to be that you make your presence or your exit known. That, hey, I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that them people is not going to want to see you go, being in some type of friend group and family, traditional ways and stuff like that, a lot of times you're going to have to break them cycles, you know what I'm saying, and change up a lot of the things that most people would like you to keep doing because it made you easier to access. It made things easier to attach to you, to get you, interested in. Now that you getting uninterested in the shit and you how you say it, you just uninterested in the things that you at one time used to enjoy and indulge in. You don't want to do it no more. It don't give you the same fulfillment anymore. Drinking, it don't give you the same fulfillment anymore. You can go without it. You know what I'm saying? And if you do it, it's because it's, what I'm saying, it's a choice. You know what I'm saying? It's not an addiction anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you have self-discipline, self-control, but this person, they lack of cooperation, then, is the reason why you rejected them now. And they are fearing your rejection because of their way of they expressing their emotions, or the way they thought, taking somebody else's advice. You know what I'm saying? This karmic couple now is looking at how, your lack of cooperation. You know what I'm saying? You focusing on you. So if they were pulling from your energy at a time where, you were still kind of interested in this person, still hung up on them, they was benefiting off your good energy. Not no more. Not no damn more. And now they falling, the real glue that may have been there holding them together is gone. It's gone. They left with their own energy as to, what really attracted them to this person, what really, got them, in that person's energy and in each other's face now. And it's the natural way of them seeing each other now without the mask on, without your energy nowhere involved. And now they, looking at how you done rejected them. They way of thinking that, or them thinking that the way they was expressing themselves or getting over here with somebody else was going to pass the time, and you gonna come back around because or question them about who they over there with, why they ain't made it back around to you. You must ain't gonna apologize, blah blah blah. None of that shit. None of that shit worked. None of that shit worked for Cubs. So they over here depressed. It could be meditating. They could be rejecting this person's offer, and they cup trying to get them to be with them. They don't want it. They don't want it. You know what I'm saying? They done gain a new perspective on the situation. Chaos, arguments, conflict, intimidation, competition. Okay? Because this person want a passionate new beginning. They don't want to, keep doing this shit here. You deserve someone who will cherish you. You deserve someone who will cherish you. You deserve someone who will cherish you. Yeah. 8 of Swords with the World. Yeah. And you could have this person blocked. The universe could have this person blocked with this 8 of Swords. They could be, feeling some type of, anxiety when it comes to, possibly talking to you, or the fact that they know, they in a bad spot right now. They could be stuck, thinking a lot of negative things that was said or wasn't, meant. But I feel like, at the end of the day, this is somebody that, at some point you blocked them, or the universe got this person blocked because you deserve somebody better than, you know what I'm saying, what this person was actually putting out. And what the World and the 8 of Wands is coming in fast for you. So somebody see you as somebody deserving, as well as faithful. Even if you don't really have much. I know for some of you, that, here, that somebody, is plentiful. You know what I'm saying? 9 of Pentacles. Somebody that is abundant. Oh, I ain't got it like that. I still got this. I got that going on. I'm in between jobs, or, they could be paying me more, than they paying everybody else, because I do a little more than everybody else. I do some other people work and stuff like that. But when it comes to what you deserve, it's not something that, is hidden. It's on the surface. It's shown. It's in everything you do. It's in what you say. It's how you carry yourself. You deserve, somebody who will cherish you. And right now, with this 8 of Swords, this person is blocked. The universe, your ancestors got this person blocked. They blocking people. Not just this past person, but for some of you, this is like the universe, keeping somebody away from you. Like, you could have this person blocked too, but this is also like somebody, in a mental prison, like, in their thoughts and their memories, having a lot of, and it could be self-sabotaging too. A lot of bad thoughts, a lot of bad memories, you know what I'm saying, that it's constantly reminding you why you got somebody out of your life, you know what I'm saying, in which you don't want to be, weighed down with. What's the Eight of Swords? What's the Eight of Swords? You deserve someone who will cherish you. That's by the Eight of Swords. Yeah, you got the Temperance and you got the Ace of Pentacles. So this is about finding balance. This is about you cooperating, finding better solutions, in situations. This is about, you cooperating with your spirit team, listening to them, trusting, that whatever it is you put out into the universe, you're going to get it back. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you've been telling the Most High, whatever you've been telling Mother God, whatever you've been, standing 10 toes down, whatever you've been, amen or share about, baby, it's gonna be given back to you because it's something you deserve. It's something that, nobody can say that because they didn't give it to you, you won't get it. Because if God won't do it, it just won't get done. If the Most High don't do it, it just won't get done. Because who gonna do something without him? Who gonna make a move, you know what I'm saying, that he don't know about? Ain't nothing we go through in this life and the things that people do and how they treat us, when they mistreat us, when they mishandle us, they did it to Jesus. They did it to him. We ain't gonna go through it. We ain't gonna experience not a damn thing from other people that Jesus didn't experience to nothing. And you got a friend in him. You got a big brother in him. You hear me? Don't ever think that the way somebody do you or the way somebody, thinks of you, whether they know you for real or not, they'll never know you for real. Okay? They'll never know you for real until they are for real. Okay? You can't make somebody see something that they blinded to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't, gonna be the person assigned to awaken or, to make that breakthrough for somebody else or be that person that comes through. There's a miracle to be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That is deserving and has given back, even when they had very little to give. And somebody hit the nail on the head when they said everybody want a blessing but don't want to bless nobody else. Okay. Don't expect something from somebody and other people in your time of need when you gave nothing to nobody else. Because some people give, I gave to so many people, man, you would think, people will give back to me. You're going to have to wait even longer for that goddamn giving that. Because don't nobody give with their heart and talk about it. Some folks give the shirt off their back and the last, and you will be the last to hear about it. Why? Because they wanted it that way. They wasn't vocal. They wasn't public about it. Okay? People always say, how you gonna love a God that you ain't ever seen before? So, majority of the time, when people are giving blessings, you barely even know who the fuck they are. You don't even see them. Some folks be blessings on people and blessings in people's lives that they didn't even see coming. So, but this is about you being given back, the things that nobody, was refusing to go out of their way to give you, but was willing to take everything you was willing to give them. If you gave them good love, if you gave them, honesty, genuineness, a good friend, a good lover, you know what I'm saying, sister, brother, they wasn't going to give back to you the way you gave to them in any way. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they feel like they need it for themselves. Some folks don't want to give if they ain't getting nothing out of it. The gift of giving is the gift itself. That's the gift. To be able to give. Some folks will say, I would love to give something. I just ain't got nothing to give. Give your time. Okay? Use your voice. You able to use that. It's free. And you getting money back and cash back on it every time you make a post. Okay? But at the end of the day, this is, about the universe working with you. This is the universe working with you. You got the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck with the Death. So somebody coming back with some passion, child. Somebody a King of Wands is coming towards you with some passion. Coming as it's a natural leader, a protector. Somebody that ain't gonna play about you. This person that went through a transformation, a spiritual change. They done, let the excess of, things about whoever they once were fall away, to replace the things that they know they need. This is old, outdated views, ways, a mindset, a lifestyle. They don't let that shit, be something that they know. Ain't none of that gonna make you a better person. Ain't none of that gonna, shape and mold you into who you need to be and help you make better decisions. You're gonna have to make that happen. Say that your new cycle doesn't include me. Who is this? Show me this person. Say that your new cycle. Yeah, the world. Telling you, 3 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I can't make it up. Libra energy. Out with the old, in with the new, and they heartbroken because they see that you the gift. 9 of Swords, they in their damn head, dealing with a lot of depression, anxiety, having a lot of sleepless nights. They could be going through a dark night of the soul. When it comes to the things that, they being shown, they could be seeing things, so pay attention to your dream state. Because I feel like this person see, things in the communication that they didn't make with you. If this person, was not reaching out or not returning calls, if they were short with their answers, if they let days go by without getting back to you, shit, they regretting that shit now. What's the world? Got Leo out here with the world. What's the world? Say that your new cycle doesn't include me. Say that your new cycle doesn't include me. Give me some more on this person. They could be at a distance as well. You could be distant with this person. I ain't gonna keep all these sharing. I'm not hearing mother. Somebody's mother is a Leo, or it got Leo placement. Don't have to be, but that's for somebody. And this is, I like, for like some of you, this is not just one person. There's several people that's saying that your cycle of new beginnings and opportunities and, abundance don't include them. I feel like when you was around these people, your light and your energy, your goodness, brought them hope. You know what I'm saying? It allowed them to see things that they never seen happen for somebody that they know didn't really have much. You could have been a page then. You know what I'm saying? You could have been a page for a while, you know what I'm saying? And still being able to make ends meet, even, with them talking shit or, trying to police your pockets and shit, man or woman. But at the end of the day, shit, ain't no more of that. That shit don't last forever. They are meant to see you advance and, grow and get to this bag in their face. Where they ain't been used to seeing you at, or what they didn't want to admit that you done had some up moments and up and down and shit like that. That's how people be playing, planning on your downfall. They be in your energy trying to sabotage and send you all kind of negative, chaotic ass shit, spiritual attacks. You know what I'm saying? That had you at home sick, missing days out of work, because they don't want to see you making that money. They don't want to see you being able to pay your bills and shit like that, and being able to still maintain, even though they know you going through some shit. What's the world? Got to be mindful of the people that you don't talk to no more, because a lot of them don't wish you well. They don't. What's the world? Got the Judgment and the Ace of Cups. Tell me. With the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and somebody curious. I'm curious. I want to know what's on your mind. Somebody want to know what's on your mind, baby. I'm curious. Aquarius, somebody curious. With this Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck, but you got the Ace of Cups and the Judgment. Yeah. Somebody under judgment. And they mad. You don't call judgment on this person. But the judgment is in. I mean, the judgment is in your favor. That was the first card out. That was the first card out. Judgment is in your favor. You getting this new love. You getting this new love opportunity. This new emotional awakening that somebody doesn't have, baby. Whatever feelings they, was hiding, whatever feelings they never felt before. Yeah. But somebody also, is not happy with the fact, when it comes to the things that they know they could have, did, and they may have let things like distance, they may have let things, like family and some other things get in the way, other distractions, Seven of Cups. I hadn't seen that, but that's what I'm getting. But they may have let a lot of outside things, cloud their judgment as to what was important and what was going, bring them true happiness. And those little small things at the time may have made this person happy, or they may have been used to using shit like that, going towards shit like that, shopping and having, materialistic shit, or anybody else, on that mindset of being like this surface level. Yeah. Yeah, materialism ain't gonna get you no damn well. You know what I'm saying? Because some folks I'd rather be by themselves at this point now than deal with a bunch of fake ass people that just around because they want to see how long your blessings and stuff gonna last and how far your blessings stretch. You know what I'm saying? And see how long your money is. Oh, they ordered out. They've been eating takeout for the last week. Let's see if they can do it for 2 weeks straight. Ain't nobody been able to do it 2 weeks straight. You got some money, you able to do that. If I was you, I'd be cook. You see what I'm saying? So. And for some of you or somebody in particular, there's a somebody that's in and out of cycle with somebody and starting something new, and I feel like it's a past person for some of you. Upright if it's a past person, reverse if it's someone new in this new cycle. Past person or someone new in this new cycle. It's a past person or someone new in this new cycle. Is this a past person? Is this a past person for the collective or someone new? Upright, yes. Reverse, no. No. It's not someone new. But it's definitely, somebody that the person that's sad is somebody that, at one time may have gotten a whole lot of people, like I said, in their ear, saying this and saying that. And they may have gotten a whole lot of different ways to look at something instead of looking at it from their own perspective or letting, whatever wasn't being said or whatever they, may have felt like they ran out of time to say or whatever. They may have let that clock run out, wanting you to come back around and say something first and shit like that. They fuck their own self with that, okay? But that's sad, for them that they letting this be something that they let get away from them all because they didn't want to open their mouth or they waiting on you to, make the first move. Mm-hmm. And you'll know who this person is because if you walk away from this person, Divine Feminine, and this person was waiting on you or banking on you to come back around, baby, because you have done it in the past. You may have, been the first to make up with this person, not no more. Divine Masculine, if, what I'm saying, switch the roles. You know what I'm saying? Gender is fluid in tarot, okay? But at some point, this person, may have been at a crossroads. They may have had some, put you in a third party that they didn't want to bring up or hear you talk about or, make them have to be responsible for. And speaking their truth, and they may have stayed their ass around, with whoever they was with, in hopes that, you'll reach back out to them regardless of what you do know and want to make up with that shit did not happen. And now they getting into it with that person over you. Because that opportunity they wanted to have with you again and actually do what they were supposed to do the first time, they ain't getting it. They're not getting it. For some of you, they're not getting it. And you don't want them to get it. That's why they ask under judgment. Because it's like it's like how you tell a child, like, I told you, what I would do. Now I got to show you what I would do. And I feel like that's was the lesson, for you and being the good person that you are and having the big heart that you have as an empath. Like, you have to remind yourself constantly that some people, you got to remind yourself that you can't stay too long. The minute they, refuse to make the changes, just like, being a manager and you having to tell that person, listen, I'm going to let it slide this time. Should never let it slide the first time. Because if you hired them and you asked them on the application, you asked them again in the interview, if they can perform these duties, and boom, you hire them, and 2-3 days go by, they still ain't doing what this job description said they needed to do, you gotta let them go. Because you said in the interview, face to face, that you could do this. Whether it's Zoom or whatever, you said you could do this. You said you could lift 40, 50 pounds. You know what I'm saying? You said that. So at the end of the day, you either lied, you know what I'm saying, and it was my fault that I gave you a chance and gave you an opportunity and didn't listen to my discernment when it came to hiring you. Because if I felt deep down you wasn't going to renege and, give me some excuse or slack or not come in the door wanting to do it once I hear the uniform, I should have never did that either. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take accountability for the reason that person there and why you dealing with what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Cause and effect. But this person may have, felt, like you wasn't, the emotions, that you and this person used to hold or have together, they may feel like that's an emotional detachment now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may not feel you in their energy. You don't feel them in your energy anymore. You don't want them there. You know what I'm saying? The energy that they came with is some energy that you don't want to have to, be dealing with or, have to bounce back from. It may have taken you a while to even get over this person. You know what I'm saying? But they under judgment. You know what I'm saying? For not listening to their intuition, not allowing, their gut feeling, allowing their crown to be manipulated. With this judgment out here, it talks about your crown. But this person was not using their intuition. You know what I'm saying? They were, maybe stuck in their ego or, looking at how guilty they felt, you know what I'm saying, about some of the things that they know they didn't tell you about or didn't want to come clean to you about or admit, and they stayed, where they were, in hopes that, time will pass and you'll get over it, you ain't gonna be mad at them, whatever. But the time turned into judgment because that was not something, it may be a pattern that somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you may see going on with people from your past, like they wait, hold and chop it up as something, you just being mad with them and letting some time go by, and do that. I had somebody do me like that a couple of days, I want to say, not even almost a week ago now. And I reminded that person, and I always do this, especially with this person. If the thing I parted and cut your ass off over and silenced your ass over was something pointed out to you, and I didn't have to do that shit either, because I done left people quieter for smaller reasons. You know what I'm saying? But they became bigger later. Why? Because they continue to be that way with other people that they gonna get another opportunity to be different with, and they don't do it. And they end up going through the same thing with somebody. Like people say, man, every time I get with somebody, man, shit, it be like this, like that, man, for a while, and then it don't work out. Yeah, because it's not always the person that it didn't work out with. It's the shit that you keep bringing into the next cycle with somebody doing the same shit you did in the last cycle, being the same way you was in the last cycle. Not thinking that you need to change something about you, but the person you going toward need to be different every time. You need to be different every time. If you're going to change draws, they may not have the same print. If you're going to wear the same shirt, it need to have something different on it. So it's a different shirt. Some folks just wear all black t-shirts and they just all look the fucking same, but they smell clean. Every time this person show up with a black t-shirt on, it smells clean. So who gives a damn if it's the same shirt? But if you're going to go home and change clothes, it's going to have a different look every time. So why do you have the same look every time you get with somebody new? You got the same shit going on. Same mindset. That lasts for a few months or a few days or a few hours, and then you back to your, you know what I'm saying, you on to the skibbity. You know what I'm saying? The skibbity path and doggy treats and shit. that you're passing out. Don't want to be a whole meal just passing out motherfucking treats. You know, just being a little treat here and there. Anybody got time for that? But the person, you know, years later, you hear me? Few years later, text me. And I let that text sit there for about 2-3 days before I even said anything. Because I wanted to give them time to, you know, clear the air. You know why we stopped talking? You know why we wasn't communicating? And it wasn't a lover. You know what I'm saying? It was somebody I considered a friend. I thought, you know, I felt considered me one, knew I was one. You know what I'm saying? But I had to I had to hold that motherfucker accountable. I had to make sure they held their motherfucking self accountable. Because if you still got my number, you had some intentions on using it for something. And I'm going to make sure that every time you look at it, you know that if you fuck around and text that number, call that number, know what it come with. And that right there, if it makes you text me, then you a strong motherfucker. You need to make it happen. So I led with what I left off with. And that's going to be that way with me. If you fucked up with me in that area, this, and this, it's going to be like that when you come back around. You're going to clear that air. You're going to, you know what I'm saying, you're going to clear that board. Or don't expect nothing different to be laying there when you come back. Don't expect the air to have nothing else in it. Okay? Going to have that same issue. We're going to have that same situation. That last conversation, that last topic, it's going to be the first topic. Don't give a damn what year it is. Because if you ain't coming to discuss that topic and clear the air on that topic that I cut your ass off over, don't expect nothing else from me. That person turned around and said, I'm sorry twice. I ain't even respond back to that. Why? Because it wasn't sincere. How I know it wasn't sincere? Because I ain't hear from that person no more. After them 2 I'm sorry's. Because I shouldn't have to remind you of why you ain't heard from me. But hopefully, and I pray, that person don't ever contact me again after that I'm sorry. Because I hadn't said nothing and they hadn't either. Don't even question whether I'm going to accept that I'm sorry. Because if I did not respond, you know what that means. If I felt like it was sincere, I would have. But just because you said I'm sorry don't mean I'm going to go back and fuck with you. The betterment of the person is for them, not me. Not me. The lesson is what it is, but the assignment is different for everybody. What you do with that lesson is up to you. You know what I'm saying? But it makes me a better me for knowing that I have the self-discipline and the obedience to know that whatever decision I make, I'm going to stand firm in it. And if I don't question it, it ain't nothing wrong with me. It ain't nothing wrong with what I'm saying. But if I have to second guess it and question it and all that, I'm going to go in some deep prayer about it. It's going to take you a while to hear from me again. Because I'm not going to rush, you know what I'm saying, the process. I'm not going to rush through, you know what I'm saying, making something right for somebody. Because I don't got no problem apologizing to people. You know what I'm saying? And righting my wrongs with folks. But I give you opportunity to do it too. And if I see you don't, and I feel, you know what I'm saying, extend, you know what I'm saying, my apology somewhere if I ever feel there's a need to apologize. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like somebody, you know, don't feel you in their energy no more. And they sad about that. You know, they going through a lot, you know, being said. They let a lot of people in their ear. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, a lot of mental turmoil for this person now. Whatever wasn't said, whatever things that this person, you know, was leaving, swept under the rug, thinking that time was going to, you know, pass and they was going to, you know, hear from you again. Like I said, that's for some of you, not all of you. Could be for somebody in particular. So take it how it resonates. Clarify this Two of Swords in reverse. We're going to close out. What's the Two of Swords in reverse? What's that about? What's the Two of Swords in reverse? Clarify the Two of Swords in reverse. Four of Swords. Because you're protecting your peace. All right? You could be healing at this time, you know what I'm saying? You could be, you know what I'm saying, seeing things in your dream state when it comes to this person, you know, feeling this kind of way, especially at bedtime. This person could be sad. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this person, you know, they know that you protecting your peace. You could be doing some introspection. They could be looking at things, you know, in their life when they go into bed, thinking about some of them things that, you know, they just should have said something, could have spoke up, you know, and they could be trying to telepathically talk to you and things like that, seeing you different, you know, feelings of emotion, thoughts and stuff like that, communicating with you through your dream state and shit. They sad, you know what I'm saying? Because this person, you know, possibly want to start, you know, making something right, or they want to say something to make something better, you know what I'm saying? Call a truce and, you know, and clear the air, you know, about something that they may not have said and should have said something about, should have spoke up, should have used their throat chakra. They may have used some, you know, low vibrational ways of expressing themselves, or, you know, not being clear about what they wanted. Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. The Wheel of Fortune. Page of Pentacles, yeah. They want to, you know, they feel sad, you know, that they left you out in the cold. They breadcrumbs you. They may have, you know, went in another direction towards somebody else. They may have chosen, you know what I'm saying, a whole nother path, or, you know, was more into their finances or insecure about them. You know what I'm saying? They may have, you know, felt like, you know, they would be a burden, or they didn't want to be one or something like that. But this is, you know, somebody going through some type of financial loss too. They're going through karma. But the card that sit on the top of this deck, when I turned it over, public exposure about their karmic lover betrayed. There's some public exposure here for somebody. Karmic lover, whoever they getting back and forth and having these, you know, conversations with, these arguments with, they dirt finna be exposed. Somebody was betrayed. They could have been, you know, dealing with somebody that was still dealing with somebody too, or dealing with some other people besides them. But that person is finna be exposed. That betrayal that person, you know, if they chose somebody else over you, that person betrayed them. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they, you know, didn't cooperate with you to be with somebody else. That person played their ass. That person was not, you know, and that person that you know, that wasn't doing right by you, or, you know, didn't cherish you when they had you. That person probably didn't do this past person like that either. This person they got it moved on to, or was still involved with all this time. Either way, take it how it resonate. That person or the person they with is finna be publicly exposed if they haven't already been done, if that hadn't already happened. Has this person, is public exposure already happened? Has this public exposure already happened? Right, yes, first, no. Has this public exposure, this karmic lover been exposed already? Has this public exposure happened already with this karmic lover? Has this public exposure happened already? Yeah. It didn't happen already. Ten of Cups. The Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The Death. And the King of Wands. So for some of you, this karmic lover that they, getting back and forth and done turn on each other and shit like that could be over this exposure, this betrayal, of them, realizing now how somebody really was or what somebody else had, that person had going on. But that's probably what's allowing somebody, to be freed up or done with a cycle that they in with somebody now, for them not to go back to that person or to second guess, doing what they did to you again. Because I feel like somebody may have made somebody believe that they was a person or that they had a better opportunity or something with them until they realized this person was just, dragging them along. What is that movie called? Something like Drag Me to Hell or something like that. The title of this movie. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. A karmic lover done betrayed them, but at the end of the day, that's, I added, situation that they dealing with now, when it comes to that lack with this Three of Pentacles in reverse, and Five of Pentacles that once was at the bottom of the deck. So at this point, like, that person could be upset that this person done turned over a new leaf. You know what I'm saying? And they want a new opportunity. They got, they want a new love, At this point, I feel like somebody just done wanted something, that they thought was good for them until they realized it wasn't. But I feel like it had to be, some type of divine intervention, to happen in order for somebody to see somebody for who they really are. Because I feel like as long as somebody kept trying to wear a mask and, try to, manipulate this person moving on or you moving on, it just made the ancestors in the universe have to work harder, with this person or you, to be freed of any type of, outside bullshit wanting to come back around, without some type of, consequence. So let's just put it like this. If somebody keep wanting to come back around and be in your life, things about them is going to be exposed the more they keep coming towards you without wanting to, deal with their shit and come back around and you and still got some shit going with somebody, got some cycles open with somebody. They may be used to doing that, but this is, this is somebody and you somebody they can't come back around to. And they got other people in their energy that they laying and playing with, because mixing with energy, especially sexually, you don't want to have all these different lovers they laying with pulling off your energy. This is why they back and forth with each other now. But I'm going to end it here. You guys make sure you do something nice for someone today, even if you don't know them. This is Divine Eye Mystic Tarot. Until next time, you guys, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button on your way out. I love you. Mwah. Bye.